This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Kingsmen Resources, Mr. Scott Emerson. Scott, it is great to have you back on. I've been very vocal about the fact that I am very biased about Kingsmen. It is a solid holding of mine. I haven't sold a share. I am looking forward to writing checks at much higher prices, and it is one of my single favorite silver gold with some base metal credit speculations in the space, in part because of your tiny micro cap and the fact that this never before consolidated district is going to see modern exploration in a way that it hasn't seen in the past, which is exciting to me because it's already a past producing district. And I tell you what's more exciting is the fact that you're still identifying new high potential targets. You just had some news and I wanted to have you on to kind of go over it.
Thanks, Gerardo. Look forward to sharing this with you.
Well, tell me about these two new zones that were not previously recognized, the Silvia and the La Plata zones, right? This is, of course, in areas of the 100% owned Las Coloradas project. And it's amazing to me that this has been such a significant past producing district in the past, and yet there's still new high potential targets that are being outlined.
Yes, and I think, Gerardo, what's important there when you say, the consolidation that took place, a lot of the properties within Las Coloradas were stalemated for the period of 22 years. So there really was no exploration outside on those project areas. And now that we've been able to access those and get our boots on the ground, we have expanded the project considerably. And I think with the news that we put out this week, if the readers or your listeners basically just take their fingers and point, directly north, those are our Soledad 1 and Soledad 2 structures. And those structures were previously mined by ASARCO. So we focused on that area, but then we started to expand our footprint. And by doing that, what we found is we found these two cross-cutting structures that come across those two north structures. So they're to the northeast. While we looked at that, and as we've been sampling that area and mapping that area, we've seen on surface some indication of these two structures. While you can't see them all along the entire 2,500 meters, we see them sporadically. And now what we're doing is we're sampling those. So going back to when you had me on previously, the results, and some of the grades that we had as high as 435 grams silver equivalent. What we're seeing now is we're seeing indications of other types of mineralization coming across those structures. So that's got us excited. And again, I say to you, Gerardo, we're doing the work that's required to give us the best possible drill targets so that when we go to drill, this year, that we are testing our best targets.
Well, as you know, I'm excited for drilling. I want to see the drill bits start turning. That is the best single value creation, in my opinion, best bang for your buck. But I absolutely agree with the diligence that you have to take in being able to outline, the best targets and prioritize them, especially when you have this much of a district to explore. It's interesting to me with record gold prices and record copper prices that there now seems to be areas that are, very highly prospective for copper as well as silver and gold. Can you speak to that a bit?
What I can say to that is when the old timers were there, well, I'll say the ASARCO was there in the 50s and the late 40s and early 50s. They basically just went after the high-grade zones that they could see, and they processed it without really looking at, because at the time, the other mineralization, the copper, as you mentioned, the zinc, had very little value. It wasn't profitable for them to mine it. But now, with prices that we're seeing, and I hope we continue to see, that becomes valuable, that mineralization. So that's why we're giving it a total review of all of the mineralization that we see, if that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, no, it makes all the sense. And again, as a biased shareholder and somebody that's looking forward to an exciting, commodity run here, I most definitely want to make sure that we maximize the potential. I think it's a special district. I think you're in the right parts of Mexico. I think you have the right targets. There's elections this coming weekend, and the nice thing for Kingsmen is, despite however the elections go, Kingsman's going to be able to continue its work and move forward with drill programs of significant consequence, and that's obviously very, very appealing to someone like me who has been somewhat reserved about allocating capital in certain parts of Mexico.
Correct.
Good. Well,
okay.
Exciting times as always, Scott. Thank you for coming on. I'm looking forward to more news, obviously. I know you have a ton of data that you're sifting through, so hopefully we can have you back on soon.
Yeah, stay tuned. We've got results. Like I said, we've been in the field, and we've got results coming from these 2 new zones. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you and your listeners.
Excellent. Looking forward to having you back on. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, cheers. Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.